Hello, horror fan friends. My name is Crystal, and today we're talking about the 2022 film The Black Phone with no spoilers. Alright, so in this video, I'm gonna be telling you about the film, then the good and the bad, and my conclusion on whether you should watch it, so make sure you stay until the end. And timestamps are on the bottom if you want to skip around a little bit. Don't worry, I won't be offended. So in The Black Phone, we follow Finney Shaw, who is a shy yet clever 13-year-old boy who's being held in a soundproof basement by a sadistic masked killer. When a disconnected phone on the wall starts ringing, he soon discovers that he can hear the voices of the murderer's previous victims, and they are dead set on making sure that what happened to them doesn't happen to Finney. Okay, so the good. The acting, the editing, the music, the special effects, the length, not too long. And guys, bravo, chef's kiss to Ethan Hawke. I really feel as if Ethan Hawke is the type of actor who you just give him the lines and he can do the rest. He had so many moments that were so clever and so haunting that made me want to see so much more of him on camera. The mask he wore was also pretty cool too. James Ransone was also a really fun addition to the cast where he played Max, who we all know as Eddie from It Chapter 2. Mason Thames, who played Finney, was also very entertaining to watch. And this was his first acting role, so good for you, Mason. And Finney's sister, Gwen, is played by Madeline McGraw, also an amazing young actress who captivated the screen as a little badass. There were also some special effects throughout the film that really made me squirm in my theater seat, and some that made me jump. It sort of made me feel like I was watching like an old 70s horror film, you know, like the ones that you would watch in a drive-in. So yes, these elements were really fun and awesome to watch. Okay, so the bad. Now guys, spoiler alert, I am going against the masses on this one and say I wasn't super enthralled with this film. So this section might be a little bit longer than the good. First, I've said this before and I'm gonna say it again right now. I am not a fan of kids and horror movies. Yes, the two leads in the film, Finney and Gwen, were fantastic. But violence against kids, not my thing. Putting kids in harm's way, not my thing. Showing any kind of abuse to kids, not my thing. I was more traumatized by the first half of this film than the latter. I don't want to spoil anything, but f*** Finney and Gwen's dad. That's all I'm gonna say about that. I appreciate the effort that was made in this film, but once we see that Finney is kidnapped, the horror kind of stops. It was more of like a stale back and forth between the grabber and Finney. And in all honesty, it doesn't really ring true as a horror movie to me, but more of like a murder mystery, escape room on crack for kids kind of movie. There was also this supernatural element to the film that was never really fully explained. There also wasn't enough as Ethan Hawke as the grabber. As I said earlier, I wanted more of him. It felt as if something was missing. And it was just a repeat of scenes of like the phone ringing, Finn trying to escape, a sleeping bad guy, then back to the phone ringing. I wanted more bite. I wanted more suspense. Now, I'm not saying that I wanted to see these kids get like hacked up in the film or anything, because I'm not into that, which I've already mentioned. But I just feel like the film was lackluster. The premise of the film, the synopsis of the film is really scary. And we have a trifecta between Ethan Hawke, the director, and the co-writer, who are all together on the epic film that we know as Sinister. I was expecting something like that, something more along the lines of Sinister, because Sinister to this day truly haunts me. And as I was doing my research, some people were pointing out this film sort of followed the same premise of Stephen King's It, which honestly isn't shocking considering Joe Hill is King's son. The director and the writers essentially made the red balloons black, the grabber kidnaps the kids instead of eating them, and it was set in the 70s as opposed to the 80s. And guys, I am a fan of Scott Derrickson, who is the director. I mean, he did The Exorcism with Emily Rose and Sinister, so the guy knows how to do scary. I don't know, maybe my hopes were just a little bit too high for this. Maybe my expectations were also too high. And maybe I need to rewatch it or read Joe's Hill short story that the film is based on to fully understand the film. Maybe I missed the mark completely, and I'm the first person to admit that sometimes I do. And as I've mentioned before, my opinion may be different than yours, and that's okay. I always encourage you guys to watch any film that I talk about so you can create your own opinion. Let me know in the comments down below if you liked this film or if you're planning on going to see it. And if we do chat about it in the comments, remember, no spoilers for the people who haven't seen it yet. Also, let me know any films that you want me to cover with spoilers or no spoilers. All right, friends, I think that's gonna be it for me and this video. And if you like these kinds of videos, I have an entire playlist in the description box below. Thanks so much for watching, especially if you made it this far. And you can follow me on my social medias if you want. And I'll see you guys soon.